Good morning, friends. I welcome you all to online C class. Today we are going to continue our discussion with the files. In the last class we have discussed what is the importance of files in C language and what are the different types of files supported by the C language and what are the differences between these different types of files. And then what operations are permitted by the C language to perform operations on the files. And then what are the C library functions supported to perform the operations on the files. So these are the things that we have discussed in the last class about the files. And this class is also a continuation of the previous class. And in this class we are discussing how to open a file and how to close a file and how to write one character at a time to the file and how to read one character at a time from the file. And for this we will discuss one example program, and then after that we will discuss important questions related to today's class. And these important questions we can consider them as an assignment for today's class. So let us start our discussion with opening and closing the files. Friends, already in the last class I told you that a file is very similar to your notebook. If you want to perform any operation on your notebook, what you have to do is first you have to open your notebook. If you want to write any information in your notes, first you have to open that notes. And if you want to read any information from your notes, first you have to open that notes. Then only you can read information. Similarly, the same concept is followed here. If you want to perform any operation on the file, first you have to open the file. Then only you can perform operation on the file. Normally the operation that we perform here is read operation and write operation. Read operation means reading the contents of the file. You can read the contents of the file character by character, word by word, or line by line. So it depends on which C function you are using to read the contents of the file. Either character by character or word by word or line by line. So it is left to your choice. Similarly, you can perform a write operation on the file. Write operation means writing some information to the file. Again, here also you can write information to the file character by character, word by word, line by line. So to perform read operation or write operation on the file, the first requirement is you have to open that file. And how do we open a file? In C language, we have a C library function called fopen. So fopen function we can use to perform opening operation on the file. So fopen function is a library function in C language which can be used to open a file. And fopen function not only used to open a file, but also it can be used to create a new file. We will see how a file is opened or how a file is created using fopen function in this class. So to understand the functionality of fopen function, first we should know what is the syntax of fopen function. Fopen function syntax is very similar, very simple. It is having a file pointer equal fopen function, and inside the parentheses we will give two arguments to the fopen function. So what are the two arguments? The first argument is the file name. File name means this first argument represents the name of the file on which we would like to perform a read operation or write operation. So that file name should be written as a first argument. Since file name is a sequence of characters, so it should be enclosed inside the double quotes. And then coming to the second argument, the second argument is called mode argument. And this mode argument tells the purpose of opening the file. For what purpose we would like to open that particular file, we have to tell. So file we can use for reading purpose, file we can use for writing purpose, and file we can use for appending purpose. Means you may wish to open the file to perform a read operation, you may wish to open the file to perform a write operation, you may wish to open the file to perform a appending operation. So to perform any one of these operations, we would like to open the file. So that is called mode. Mode specifies the purpose of opening a file. Means whether you would like to open the file to perform read operation or write operation or appending operation. So that is specified by the mode option. And now see, this mode option is most important option in fopen function. We will discuss a little later about the mode option in detail. So this is the significance of file name and mode arguments for fopen function. Now fopen function tries to open the specified file in a specified mode, and after opening the file, specified file successfully, it assigns an identifier to the file, and that identifier contains complete information about the file, and that identifier is assigned to a file pointer which is there on the left hand side of the assignment operator. Now this file pointer will point out this file. Now all the operations on this file is performed through this file pointer. So that is the importance of the file pointer. Now let us concentrate on second argument of the mode function. See, the second argument of the mode function, already I told, it is used to tell the purpose of opening a file. Suppose if you are opening the file for reading purpose, then the mode must be mentioned as R. Means inside the double quotes in the second argument, you have to write character R that tells the operating system that you wish to open the file to perform a read operation. And if you are opening the file for writing purpose, the mode must be mentioned as a W. Means inside the double quotes, you have to write the character W that tells the compiler that you would like to open the file to perform a write operation on the file. And suppose if you wish to open the file to perform an appending operation, then the mode must be mentioned as A. The character A should be written in the place of mode. The character A tells the compiler that the file is opened in appending mode. So that is the significance of mode argument. And mode argument performs different actions for different modes that we are going to discuss a little later. See, first, what is the difference between this write operation and appending operation? Write operation means writing the characters or data or information to the file is called write operation. And what is appending operation? Appending operation is nothing but adding the data to the existing file. Means if the file contains any existing data in it and we are adding some more information to the file, means without losing the existing contents, we are adding some more data to the file. So that is called appending. Appending means adding. Means file is already contains some data. To that data we would like to add some more data. So that operation is called appending operation. Write operation means if you are writing data to the file newly, means if the file is not containing any information, if the file is empty, So then if you are writing any data to the file, that is called a write operation. If the file already contains some data and if you are adding some more data to the file, then it is called appending operation. So that is the difference between write operation and appending operation. Now, little more we discuss about this mode argument. See, when you are trying to open a file, by specifying the mode operation as a W, then fopen function may perform a operation like this. It creates a new file, means fopen function. It creates a new file. If no file is existing with the given name, first argument is the name of the file and mode you are mentioning as W mode. In that case, fopen function what it will do? It tries to create a new file if the file is not existing in the computer with the given name. Suppose if the file is there in the computer with the given name and if it already contains some data, then it removes that data from the file and opens that file as a fresh file. So this is the thing that is done in write mode. So in the fopen function, we are going back to fopen function. You are giving first argument as the file name and mode you are mentioning as a W here inside double quotes. W you are writing. So when you are writing W inside the mode, then two things may happen if the mode is W. Whatever file name you are mentioning in the first argument, if a file is existing in the computer with that name and if it contains some data and the data is deleted and the file is opened as a fresh file. Suppose another case, if the file is not there in the computer with your given name, then fopen function creates a new file with that name and opens that file in write mode. So this is what it is going to happen when your mode is W. Now suppose if the mode is A, what is going to be done by the fopen function? If the mode is A, what fopen function does is, it tries to create a new file if the file is not existing in the computer with the given name. Suppose if the file is existing in the computer with the given name and if it contains some data and that data is preserved, means file contains the data, it is not going to be lost and the file is opened in write mode. Means if the mode is A, what is going to happen is, if the file is already existing in the computer, if it contains some data, that data is preserved, means the file contains data and it is opened in the write mode. To that data you can add some more data. But the same file if you are trying to open in write mode, what happens? Since that file contains data, that data is deleted first and file is opened as a fresh file. Means nothing will be there. All your data is lost if you are trying to open an existing file in write mode. Suppose same existing file if you are trying to open in append mode. Yes, the content of the file is preserved and file is opened in the write mode. You can add some more data at the end of the file. So that is the difference between write mode and appending mode. Okay, so both appending mode and write mode creates new files if the file is not existing with the given name. In both the modes, fopen function creates a new file. Now what is going to happen in the read mode? We will see. If you are mentioning the mode as a read mode and if you are trying to open the file in read mode, what is going to happen? If the file is there and it contains some data in the computer, then the data is preserved and the file is opened in the read mode and it is ready to perform a read operation on the file. Suppose you are trying to open the file in read mode but the file is not there in the computer. Then in the read mode, fopen function doesn't create any new file, but it shows an error telling that no file is existing with that name, so therefore it is not possible to open the file in read mode. So this is the error generated in the read mode. Means in the read mode, no new files are created by the fopen function if the file is not existing with the given name. fopen function can create new files only when the mode is mentioned as a W or A. So then only it creates new files. And most of the compilers supports W mode, A mode and R mode. And now in the market we are having many C compilers from different companies. And different C compiler supports different modes of operations apart from this W mode, A mode and R mode. And what are these additional modes supported by the compilers? So they are nothing but R plus mode. What is R plus mode? R plus mode is same as R mode, except that the file is opened for is ready for reading purpose and writing purpose. And another mode is W plus mode. W plus mode is also same as W. Whatever concept we have discussed for W mode, same concept will be there for W plus mode also. But only difference is file is ready for reading purpose and writing purpose. And A plus mode, it is also same as A mode, except that the file is opened for reading purpose and writing purpose. Means in R plus mode, W plus mode and A plus mode, we can perform read operations and write operations. But the action performed by the fopen function is same as R mode, W mode and A mode. Okay, so means this R plus mode, W plus mode and A plus mode is not supported by all the compilers. Only few compilers which are available in the market may support these operations. So therefore when you are writing a program, it is your responsibility to check whether your compiler is supporting A plus mode, R plus mode, W plus mode or not. And if the your compiler, if it is supporting these modes, then only you can use these modes in your program. If your compiler is not supporting these three modes, R plus mode, W plus mode, A plus mode, then you cannot use these modes in your program. If you are trying to use these modes in the program and if your compiler is not supporting these modes, then compiler generates an error. So therefore it is the responsibility of the user before writing the programs on files to check whether their compiler is supporting R plus mode or W plus mode and A plus mode or not. Okay, then let us see an example how the fopen function is used to open a file in write mode and to open a file in read mode. See, the example is here. Here we have declared a file pointer fp1. fp1 is a variable declared as a pointer. And what type of pointer it is? It is a pointer which point out file data structures. And we know file data structure is a standard data structure created by the developer of C language Dennis Ritchie. And this data structure is used to write the information to the file or to read the information from the file. So fp1 is a pointer which is of type file data structure. So therefore fp1 pointer point outs the information which is written in the form of file data structure. So now fp1 pointer we have used along with fopen function to open a file whose name is data.txt file. And this data.txt file is enclosed in double quotes as I told you. And second argument is mode. Mode is mentioned as a W. Means we are trying to open data.txt file in write mode. Means we are requesting the fopen function to open data.txt file in write mode. Then fopen function what it does is it checks your current working directory in the computer and checks for all the file names in the current working directory whether any file in your current working directory is having a name data.txt or not. If any file is having that name data.txt and that file content is removed and that file is opened as a fresh file in the write mode. So that is done by the fopen function. Suppose in your current working directory if no file is having the name data.txt, in that case fopen function creates a new file with the name data.txt and opens that new file in write mode. So after opening this file in data.txt file in write mode, fopen function assigns an identifier to the data.txt file, and that identifier contains complete information about data.txt file, and that identifier is stored in the pointer variable fp1. So now this fp1 file pointer point out data.txt file. Using this fp1 file pointer, now we can point out the data, point outs the data.txt file, and using this fp1 file pointer we can perform write operation because file is opened in the write mode. So we can perform write operation on data.txt file through the file pointer fp1. That is how we can do. Now see the example 2. Here we declared another file pointer fp2, and using fp2 and with the help of fopen function we are trying to open a file results.txt file in read mode. Then fopen function tries to check your current working directory to see that any file is there with the name results.txt. If fopen function comes across a file with the name results.txt in the current working directory, it opens that file in read mode and assigns a file pointer to that file, and that file pointer is stored in fp2. Now fp2 file pointer is pointing out result.txt file, and we can perform read operation on results.txt file through the file pointer fp2. So that we can do. Now suppose if no file is there with the name results.txt in the current working directory, then fopen function doesn't create any new file with this name, but it generates an error, and that error is represented in the form of null. Means if fopen function cannot open this file, it assigns a null pointer value to the fp2. Then fp2 value becomes null. If fp2 value becomes null, we should understand that fopen function has not created the file. So that is the meaning of fopen, and its return value null. Now once a file is opened either in the read mode or write mode, for any purpose, if you are opening that file, then you will perform that operation on the file, and after finishing your operation on the file, then it is your responsibility to close the file. A best example is you have opened your notes. A file is like a notes. You may have opened your notes to write some information to your notes, or you may wish to read the contents that is already there in your notes. After performing either read operation on your notes or write operation in your notes, what you will do is after finishing your operation, you will close that notes, and you will keep that notes safely somewhere. Maybe in almara, you will keep your notes safely in the almara. Same thing we will do in files. Once a file is opened for a particular purpose, means read purpose or write purpose, once it is opened, we will perform that operation on the file. And once that operation is completed on the file, then we will close that file. And closing is the good habit of writing the program. Any file which is opened for any purpose, after performing operations on that file, it is the responsibility of the user who opened that file to close that file. Of course, if you do not close your file which you have opened, at the end, once your operations, your program is finished, operating system closes all the files opened by you or opened by your program. That is a different case. But as a user, as a programmer, it is your responsibility to close the file once all operations on that files are completed. And files are closed for different purposes. Suppose you have opened a file in read mode. You have performed a read operation on the file. Now you would like to write some data to that file. Then what you will do? Directly you cannot write data to the file because that file is opened in read mode. it permits only read operation on the file. If you want to perform any write operation on the file, first you have to close that file in the read mode. Since it is opened in read mode, first you have to close that file and reopen that file in the write mode. Means, in any case, if you want to perform a different operation on the file, which is opened for other purpose or other mode, then if you wish to open that same file in another mode, first you have to close that file and reopen it in another mode. So that is the case where we would like to close a file. If a file is to be opened in another mode, first you have to close the file which is there in the existing mode and reopen it in another. And if the file is keep open, you have completed your operation on the file, but you have not closed that file, then there are chances that some other programs may try to read the contents of your file or write some information to your file or try to corrupt the data which is there in your file. So means your file contents becomes misused. So therefore, to avoid misuse of your file, yes, it is better to close that file once you finish operations on the file. And similarly, we will try to close the file to open the required files, because every operating system usually keeps a limit on number of files that can be keep opened by the user at a time. Suppose on your computer, your operating system has kept a limit as 25 files. Means the user working on your computer can open a maximum of 25 files at a time. Suppose user has already opened 25 files, means the user has reached the maximum count or limit kept by the operating system. Now user found that he wanted to open another file, 26th file. Then if the user is trying to open another file, 26th file, already 25 files are kept open, and user is trying to open 26th file, the operating system doesn't allow the user to open 26th file, because operating system limit is only 25 files to be keep opened at a time. So if the user wanted to work with the 26th file, what he has to do is, first, out of these 25 files which are kept open, so one or two files from this set to be closed first. Once one or two files closed by the user from this set, then the count come down to 23. Then he can open the another file which he wanted to use. So that is how the situation where we would like to close the file. But whether we are coming across these situations or not, it is better to try or better to close the file once we finished our operations on the file. But how do we close the file? To close a file, C language library function called fclose function supports this operation. You can use fclose function to close a opened file. So fclose function is used to close a opened file. And what is its syntax? Its syntax is very simple. We will write fclose and a file pointer inside the parenthesis. Means fclose function will take a file pointer, and this file pointer is pointing out the file which is opened either in read mode or write mode. And fclose function will closes that file pointed out by the file pointer fp. Once the file is closed by the fclose function, the file pointer fp is now free, and this file pointer fp can be used to open another files in either read mode or write mode. Means the file pointer which is declared in the program can be used to open different files. Using same file pointer fp, you can use file 1 and you can use file 2, you can open file 3, file 4, file 5, like that. Any number of files can be opened using one file pointer. But remember, file pointer can work with only one file at a time. Suppose file pointer fp you have used to open file 1. So until you close file 1, fp is not released. Unless it is released, you cannot use fp file pointer to open another file. Okay, So if you wanted to open file pointer FP to open file 2, first you have to close file 1 because FP now it is pointing out file 1. Once you close file 1, FP will be released, then you can use FP to open file 2. So that is means file pointer, any file pointer will work with only one file at a time. If you wanted to use same file pointer to open another file, first you have to close the file pointed out by that file pointer and then you can use that file pointer to open another file. That concept you have to remember. So it is always a good programming practice to close the files once all operations on that files are performed. If, as I told you, if you do not close your file, suppose if you forget to close the file after completing your operation, then operating system will take care to close all your files once you log out from the system or once the program which you have executed, once that program is finished, then whatever files are being used by that program, so all that files will be closed by the operating system. But don't give the chance to the operating system. As a good programmer, as a good engineer, it is your responsibility to close the file. So here is an example. I have declared a file pointer FP and FP I have used to open a file data.txt in write. We have performed write operations, so many write operations on the file. And then once our operation is finished, write operation on the data.txt, we are closing the file, fclose FP, because FP is pointing out data.txt. Now fclose function will closes the file pointed out by FP. FP, since it is pointing out data.txt file, fclose now closes data.txt file. Once data.txt file is closed, now the file pointer FP is free. That file pointer can be reused to open another files. Now, here we are moving to the second concept, that is how to write one character at a time to a file and how to read one character at a time from the file. See, this operation is very similar to reading one character from the keyboard and writing one character to the monitor. So already we have read one character at a time from the keyboard and we have written one character at a time to the monitor. So for reading one character at a time from the keyboard, we have used getChar function. So getChar function we have used to read one character at a time from the keyboard. And we have used putChar function to write one character at a time to the screen. Similarly here in C language, the C language library supports two functions called putC function and getC function. PutC function is used to write one character at a time to the file. Means PutC function is very similar to our putChar function which we have used. We have used putChar to write one character at a time to the screen. Here putC function is used to write one character at a time to the specified file. What is the syntax of this putC function? PutC function syntax is very simple. It takes two arguments. PutC, first argument is character type variable ch. Second argument is file pointer, which is pointing out the file on which we are performing a write operation. So now putC function will write the character stored in the character variable ch. Here ch is a character variable which holds a character. That character is to be returned to the file. And whatever content is there in the ch, that content means that character will be returned to the file pointed out by the file pointer fp. So that is the meaning of putC ch comma fp, where the first argument ch is a character type variable which holds the character that is to be returned to the file. The second argument is a file pointer which point out the file on which we are performing the write operation now. Okay, so for every operation on putC, the file pointer will be moved, means by one character to the right side. Means file pointer after writing a character, then automatically it is moving to the next position in the file. Means pointing out next empty position. So that another character will be written here. Once you write a character in the empty position, Automatically again it is moved to the next empty position, means next byte or next position in the file. So for every putc operation, the file pointer will be moved by one character position to the right on the file. Now, to read one character at a time from the file, we use getC function. It is getC function is very similar to getChar function, which we have used to read one character at a time from the keyboard. So similar to getChar function, now here we can use getC function to read one character at a time from the file. And its syntax is also very similar to the syntax of getChar. So ch is equal to getC file pointer. Only getC function receives only one argument. So what is that argument? It is a file pointer, which is pointing out the file on which we are performing the read operation. So means for every read operation using getC on the file pointer will be moved to the next position, means it is moving to the next character. Means first whatever character file pointer is pointing out in the file, that character is read. Once it is read by the getC function, then file pointer will be moving to the next character. Okay, so whatever character fp is pointing out, that is the character to be read next by the getC function. So like that, for every operation on the file using getC function, the file pointer will be moved to the right by one position, one character position, so that it point out the next character to be read by the getC function. So getC function will read the character pointed out by the fp in the file and stores that character in the ch. Here ch is a character type variable. Okay, so you can display the content of ch variable on the screen using either getChar function or printf function. So like that you can go on reading. Once getC reads the character pointed out by fp in the file, automatically fp will be moved to the next character. Again getC function, once it executes again, it reads that character pointed out by fp and stores again in ch variable. So like that it goes on reading the characters until it reaches the last character in the file. So to know the last character in the file, so after reading all characters, the last character of the file is usually end of the file character. So EOF, end of the file character. So means when all characters are read from the file, the last character will be EOF character. So EOF character means EOF stands for end of the file character. So getC function, once it reads EOF character, then you can identify that you have reached the end of the file. Then you can stop reading the content from the file, because once after the EOF is reached, you cannot go beyond the EOF character in the file. EOF marks the end of the file. So if you are trying to read beyond EOF character, so compiler doesn't identify, your computer doesn't identify that you are reading beyond the end of the file. So you are going to get some unwanted data from the file. So it is your responsibility to check whether you have reached the end of the file or not. Once you reach the end of the file, then you have to stop reading the contents from the file. Okay. So that is what we have written here. getC returns end of the file character on reaching the end of the file. Once you reach the end of the file character, then you have to stop reading the content from the file. If you are, even after reaching the end of the file, if you are trying to read the contents of the file, your computer doesn't identify, you are going to get some garbage values which cannot be understood by your program. Okay, so your program may generate wrong outputs. So therefore, it is the responsibility of the programmer or the user who are writing the programs on the files to check whether they have reached the end of the file character or not while performing the read operation on the file. And file pointer moves by one character position to the right for every operation on putc and getC. Already I told you. For every operation on the file using putc or getc function, the file pointer will be moved to the right by one position, so that it point out the next character or next empty position. If it is a write operation, it point out next empty position. If it is a read operation, it point out next character to be read by the getc function. That is what you have to remember. Then an example how we can perform a read operation and a write operation, one character at a time on the file. So here we declared a file pointer fp, we have declared a character ch. fp is equal to fopen data.txt in write mode. So we are opening here data.txt file in write mode. Once this file is opened, that file information is identifier is assigned to fp. fp is now pointing out data.txt file, and we are using putc function to write a character a to the file pointed out by fp. fp is pointing out data.txt file, so therefore character a is written to the fp. Once you perform your operation, it is better to close your file. Then you can open that file data.txt file in read mode and read the data using getc function. So getc is taking only one argument, file pointer argument. It reads the content from the file pointed out by fp and stores that character in the variable ch, and that character you can display on the screen. So once you perform complete read operation on the file, you can close the file. So that is how we can do. Now let us see one example program. There in the program we will try to read the text from the user. Character by character we will read the given text from the user, and that text character by character we will write to the file, some file. And here we name that file as a test.txt file. We are reading text from the user character by character, and we are writing that text character by character to the file test.txt file. And then we close that file. Once we write the data to the file, we will close that file and we will reopen that file in write mode, and we will try to read the data from the file character by character, and we will display it on the screen character by character. This is what we are doing. Means writing the data to the file character by character, reading the data from the file character by character, and displaying it on the screen. This is the program. So in this program we have declared a file pointer fp, and then we have declared a character type variable which is used to hold the character that is to be returned to the file or that is read from the file. So now we are opening the file test.txt in write mode. And you know, when you are trying to open test.txt file in write mode, what is going to happen by the fopen function? What is going to be done by the fopen function? Fopen function will search your current working directory to see if there is any file with the name test.txt. If it find out any file with the test.txt file in your current working directory, it deletes the content of the file and opens that file as a fresh file in the write mode. Suppose if fopen function is not able to find out the file with the name test.txt in current working directory, then it creates a new file with the name test.txt in your current working directory and opens that new file in write mode. And that file information is assigned to the file pointer fp. Now file pointer fp is pointing out test.txt file. Now fp is used to perform write operation on the test.txt file. Now here we are asking the user to enter the text and press star at the end. So this star mark we have used in our earlier programs also. So that star we are using here to mark the end of the text given by the user. So whatever text the user is entering, that text we are reading using getCHR function from the keyboard. So getCHR function reads only one character at a time and stores that character, first character it reads, stores in ch. And the content of ch variable we are checking whether it is equal to star or not. If it is not equal to star, then we are writing that character to the file. The content of ch variable is returned to the file pointed out by fp. fp is pointing out test.txt file. So therefore this content of ch variable means one character is returned to the test.txt file using putc. Then getCHR reads next character from the keyboard, stores that character in the ch variable, and we are checking that character whether it is not equal to star or not. If it is not equal to star, then again that character also we are writing to the file. Then getCHR reads third character, stores in ch, and that third character we are checking whether it is not equal to star or not. If it is not equal to star, we are writing that character to the file. So this process goes on repeating till the get CHER reads a star and stores CH. When CH contains star, star is not equal to star, becomes false, and reading is stopped there itself because we have reached the end of the text given by the user. And all that text is returned to the file. And then since writing operation on the file we have completed, whatever text the user has given, complete text we have returned to the file. Our writing operation on the file is completed, so therefore we are closing that file FP. And now our job is to read the contents of this file. We have written information to the file. That information again we have to read from the file. To read the content of the file, we have to open the file in read mode. So that is what we are going to do next. So again here we are using same FP pointer, because here once you close file, F close means file is closed. Whatever file FP is pointing out, that file is closed, means FP is pointing out test.txt file which is opened in write mode. That file is closed. Once that file is closed, file pointer FP is now free. So that file pointer now can be reused to open the same file in read mode. Same text.file we are opening in read mode, because now our aim is we have to read whatever data we have written to the file, that we have to read character by character from the file. So we are displaying a message to the user, the contents of the file is, and we are reading the contents of the file character by character using getC function. getC FP, okay, and it reads first character from the file because FP is pointing out text.txt file. From that file it reads first character and stores in CH. Again we are checking the content of CH, whether that character is equal to EOF character or not. If it is not EOF character, then we are displaying that on the screen using printf function. Okay, then it reads next character. getC is executed next, reads the second character from the file, stores in variable CH. And we are checking whether that character is equal to EF or not. If it is not equal to EF, we are displaying that character also on the screen. Then getCH reads third character and stores in CH. And we are checking whether that third character is EOF character or not. If it is not EOF character, we are again displaying that third character on the screen. So this process repeats until getC function reads EOF character and stores in variable CH. And when CH contains EOF character, the condition becomes false, because EOF is not equal to EOF becomes false. Then this loop will be stopped. It means we have reached the end of the file. So we have completed our reading operation on the file. So now we can close this file using fclose function. Okay, file pointer is now free because the file, whatever it is pointing out, is being closed. Okay, so since our job is done with the program, so therefore we are also closing the program. So this program, it reads the given text from the user and write that text character by character to the file, and closes that file once it finishes write operation, and reopens the file in read mode and reads the contents of the file character by character from the file and displays it on the screen. This is the program. Okay, so this program is also asked one time in the examination, so therefore I request you, all of you, to concentrate on this program. Reading the text from the user, writing it to the file character by character, and reading the text from the file character by character and displaying it on the screen. So this is the important program. It was asked one time in the examination. So I request all of you to concentrate on this program. And then as usual, the important questions related to today's class is, the first question is explain about fopen and fclose functions. We have discussed what is the use of fopen function and what is the use of fclose function. Fopen function is used to open an existing file or to create a new file. Fclose function is used to close a opened file. So we have discussed the syntax of fopen function and fclose function clear, and all that information with an example, simple example, you have to, whatever way we have discussed, in that way you have to explain in the exam. And then the second question is, write a C program for reading a text from the user and writing it to the file character by character. read text from the file character by character and display it on the screen. This program we have discussed. So therefore this program also you have to write. The program whatever we have discussed, which is there in 2 slides, this program. This is the first half portion, this is second half portion. So these two, first half and second half, if you combine, it becomes a complete program. So that program you have to write. Okay, so these are the important questions related to today's class, and I give these 2 questions as an assignment from today's class to you. So I request all of you to write answers clearly on A4 size sheets and then submit the assignment to me. Okay, so thank you all for your patience listening, and if you are having any doubts you can call me on my mobile number 9848919656. Okay, so we will meet in the Zoom and I will try to clarify your doubts. So thank you all for your patience listening. Thank you all.